Guys, Brian back here with the Gala update. We're going to take a look at the chart here, and I also have an interview to show you guys, just like a 1-minute clip about one of the heads of Gala talking if Gala could be listed as a security or not. I think you really want to see this. I think it's important for all of us to know everything we can at this point in the market. All right, but first off, we're going to go through these charts real quick, and then I'm going to show you that interview, and believe me, you want to see that. And if I could ask you to please hit the like and subscribe, I would appreciate it so very, very much, guys. Got a great crew in here, and we would love to have you along. Okay, now first off, all right, we talked, now I'm not saying that this thing came in, but fundamentally, you know, if I don't know if any of you guys have watched Blockchain Backer. It's a fantastic guy, love him. When I first got into crypto, I watched him every single day. I still watch his videos now and then. Fantastic guy. Okay, now he talks about how things happen in this market, they just show up, the news drops at certain times, and stuff like that, you know, how things just happen. All right, now we were talking about this ABC correction with Gala Games. All right, I didn't want to see it happen, obviously, but it was always a possibility. Okay, now did the news help this thing? I'm sure it did. All right, but if you look at that, look at this. All right, this should be a 1-for-1 move. All right, for those of you that do not understand this A wave, okay, that would be your B. The C wave should be the equal length of the A wave. Okay, so now we're going to measure this. This is a Fibonacci retracement. This blue line up here is the top. Okay, and then right down here is the bottom of the A wave. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to move it on top of the B wave. All right, move it right over here. Put it right on top. And whoops, sorry about that. And there you go. All right, so fate or not, you can see right here, if I put a line down here, right there, we got it. Okay, that ABC came in perfectly, as much as we didn't want it to, but it's over with and it's done and is at the bottom. Okay, we'll have to wait and find out, obviously, but the ABC correction did come in. We ended up getting that thing. All right, now if we go through a couple other things I want to show you guys. Number one, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance has broken out of this wedge and has shot up here. Okay, Bitcoin dominance, when it rises, it bleeds the rest of the altcoins. Usually the red gets pretty bad. Hasn't been too bad today, actually. Alright, so this thing, the measured move of this Bitcoin dominance, if it takes and moves the whole move here, you're looking right up at 50.5%, okay, for the measured move on this thing, if it works out to that. Right now it's up at 49.19. all right, the DXY, the dollar index that we've been keeping an eye on, that thing got rejected at that 786 Fibonacci level, and right now it's still continuing to fall. Hit that 618 and it has held on a little bit. All right, now the daily RSI down there at the bottom is just about reset, but that weekly is at the top and it's bearish. Okay, so last time it pulled down on the weekly and ended up pulling this thing down. What was it? 4.75%. all right, so if we even got anything similar to that, 4.75% would break this line, this 100.8 that I've had up here for weeks and weeks and weeks. All right, we're keeping an eye on that level, but right now that thing is definitely, it's holding up on that 618, and we'll see what happens here. Hopefully that thing continues to fall. Now the Dow Jones is starting to get a breakout of this wedge. All right, the Dow Jones and the S&P are tied in with crypto. The Dow Jones is getting a breakout, so that's very important for crypto. The S&P 500, all right, this thing has got a higher high. All right, if we zoom in here, a few videos ago, we talked about this high here. It has taken that high out. Okay, if you zoom in there a little bit, you can see we have gotten a higher high out of that thing. So the S&P is looking fantastic, and Bitcoin itself, Still in this fallen wedge. All right, you can see that this is on the weekly chart. Now if we put the 200 movement, well actually the weekly, I want to put this on the monthly because you can see that 200 week moving average. All right, we don't want to lose that, and that Bitcoin is right on it right now. Okay, if we lose, what is that roughly, 25,350, something like that. If we get a monthly close below that, this is on the monthly, so we got a long ways to go before this candle closes, but we are right on that 200 moving average. All right, so pretty dangerous area there. Now if we go back here to the daily chart, I apologize here, there we go, to get my internet here. Having some storms where I'm at today, so it's kind of messing with my my internet a little bit. I apologize here. But okay, now if this thing breaks to the upside, all right, the upside move for this wedge is around $31,000. If it breaks to the downside, the measured move is around 21,650. Okay, usually 7 to 8 out of 10 times these things break to the upside, 70 to 80% of the time. But you also have that 20% of the time, 20 to 25% of the time they break down too. So if we look at the RSIs to give us any clues here, all right, now we're getting to the bottom end of that wedge. The daily RSI right now is bearish. It's at a 27 and a 32. The weekly is just about reset, and boy could we use that. That weekly RSI, you can see last time Bitcoin, the weekly RSI was reset, this thing went up 87%. Okay, right over through here. All right, you had this run right here, it was reset, it ran the whole way up to the top, had an 86% run. So it's good to see that weekly RSI just about reset on that thing. That daily, that thing could spin up. It's sideways right now. You can see that blue line could tick up at any moment. All right, we just need some volume coming in the market right now. Would definitely help. Okay, so let's move on here. The total. This is the total market cap of crypto. It has lost that falling wedge. It fell out the bottom of it. All right, now hopefully it could be a fake out, we're hoping, and you can see that daily RSI is almost reset on this thing. So if you're not familiar with the RSI, when you're oversold at the bottom, okay, usually you have a price increase, okay, and when you're overbought at the top, all right, usually as that corrects, it comes down, okay, right down the other side. All right, so that thing is getting way oversold. The weekly, same deal. All right, so hopefully we can jump back up in there and retake that. All right, this is the total market cap without Bitcoin in it. Let's put this on the daily. Alright, I apologize here. It might just take a second to load up. There we go. Alright, this thing also lost this wedge. Alright, and all this came after the Binance thing. That's what caused all of this. Alright, we ended up losing this wedge. Now you can see once again the daily RSIs, and these are, you'll hear me say RSI a lot in my videos because they mean a lot. Okay. If this thing was at the top, I'd be scared to death right now. But it's at the bottom. By tomorrow morning, this thing should be reset. Hopefully it's a fake out and it can get back up in here also. That would be fantastic to see. Alright, now let's get back to Gala. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this video real quick about them talking about if Gala could be a security or not. Alright, so let's listen to this real quick.
And I think something else that's been happening lately is there's been some regulatory concerns and people are worried about gaming tokens. Where does Gala stand on all that? How do you feel about that?
Well, full disclosure, I am not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV. So in my perspective, there's a few things that set the entire Gala Games ecosystem apart from everybody else. The first is that we are extremely community run. The entire ecosystem actually runs on the back of our Founders Node network, which is run by the community completely. And we really consider ourselves members of that community. agency. And I think that that's a really important distinction. The other thing is, and if you look at everything that has been having, issues surrounding it, all of them were based on like ICOs and token sales and things like that. And we just never had an ICO. We were an entirely fair launch project. We never did any launch pool, launch pad, ICO, anything. And so, we don't work with exchanges to make sure that tokens get listed. We don't, do any of those things that, everybody else sort of likes to talk about doing. We don't make statements about tokens being deflationary. There's our token is for use in our ecosystem, and outside of that, what happens to it is entirely up to sort of everybody else out there. We don't manage it in any way in that regard. So I think that some of those things are what differentiate the entire Gala ecosystem from everybody else that's currently having issues. Although I do have to say that that you never know what's going to happen in this particular regulatory environment. It feels a little bit like people are flailing a bit, so you never know who's going to get caught with the next side swipe from the angry regulatory agency.
Yeah, and I mean, even like Coinbase, a couple weeks ago, I had written a story that was sort of explaining like, Coinbase won't support the Gala upgrade, like, and now they're a part of the SECs. They're one of the targets. Has Coinbase come around yet, or are they just completely like shut down?
No, I mean, Coinbase has their own reasons for doing things and whatnot. They're very cautious, typically speaking, in doing things. And moving to a new contract, there's some changes that take place there, and they wanted to be very careful with how they do things, and I can't fault them for that. So as of right now, they have not changed their stance. We are still having conversations back and forth. They're looking for a little bit of information here and there. So I'm hopeful that in the long run that they will, they will change their mind. But ultimately, it's not something that we control or really have any sort of part or say in. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to pause that right there. If you want to go watch that whole interview, let's see here. Gala Games president of blockchain shares his thoughts on the Gala token upgrade and the latest SEC turmoil with Decrypt's Kate Irwin. So you want to go over to Decrypt's Kate Irwin and check out that interview right there. She is the one that did it right on Decrypt. They cover a lot of crypto stuff. Great place to go. You got AI, you got deep dives, news, videos, newsletters, all kinds of stuff. Really great place. Go over there and check that out if you're interested in the rest of that video. But that's all I got, guys. Hopefully Gala has hit a bottom here, and hopefully we are on our way up from here. But right now this chart looks pretty bottomed out. We're getting some green. We got that daily RSI as flipped bullish, 9.22 and an 8.68. All right, we got that weekly RSI right down there at the bottom, just about ready to flip bullish itself. So all right, so things could be looking up here. All right, we can't go much lower. All right, we ended up coming down here, hitting that 0.0, what was it, 0.018 roughly, so right around there. So we ended up getting that ABC, and we'll see where we go from here, hopefully upwards. All right, so thank you very much, guys. I'll talk to you soon.